Welcome to the shop again. We've got our friend Don here from Call to Crawl on YouTube.
Yep, Call to Crawl.
And so we are going to be doing a little collaboration here. So you guys know that on his channel, he's gotten a bunch of these trucks of fortune, which is awesome. And so I reached out to him and I said, hey, there's this new WEROCK thing that's happening. Yeah. Let's do some horse trading, and I'll build you a chassis and I'll trade you for the kit, and I'm going to use that kit on my chassis. And so as you can see, we've built a bunch of these tubers all over the place. So this one's going to be a fun one. And so I'm going to cut into this box. Actually, you want to hand me that big knife right there?
Yeah.
So, thank you, sir.
You're welcome.
So we're going to cut into this box, and this is the one that was his mystery one.
This is the mystery one. So we know it's a Fordyce, we just don't know what color.
Yeah.
Vanquish did a double mystery on me, and they took their sticker for their seal, and they put it right over the color, so you couldn't tell what color it was. Well, we'll figure out that one down the road.
I got to sharpen my knife. The last one I did was my Chapo one, where it was like I was stabbing the box. So I think my knife is due for a little sharpening here. My normal everyday carry knife would probably be a little bit better for cutting this. But
Cutting that fresh tape.
so here we go. Let's get this opened up. And so we know it's going to be a Fordyce. Let me throw this down over here. So here's this. Are you sure this is not the Falcon one? Or did it say Falcon on it?
I'm sure it's a Fordyce.
All right, there you go. I thought I saw it said Falcon. I was like, uh-oh, you might be in trouble.
Well, I ended up with 3 of those.
Oh, wow.
And I still have box number 11 yet to open.
Yeah, I saw that. Yeah,
so
you got an
that's
extra
coming
one.
up.
All right, so
I'm hoping for an Ultra.
Oh, dude, that would be sick.
Yeah.
Okay, so we got either gray or blue. What do you think?
Yeah,
it's
you can see that here's where the color would normally be, right there.
Oh yeah, and it's all covered up. I'll show it up here. So it's normally right there, and it's all covered up. What color do you think it is?
I think it's gray.
Think it's gray.
I ended up with this will be number 6 gray if it's gray.
Okay.
I only got 1 blue one.
Nice. Well, let's see. Maybe I'll just go like this so I don't see it. Let's see what color it is. What you think it's
Drum
gray?
roll.
All right, let's go. Pull it out. It is not gray.
It is blue.
Look at that. Vanquish blue. I like it.
Nice.
So let's see if I can get this
Here,
thing out.
I'll grab this.
All right, pull. There we go. Look at that.
Sweet.
That's a nice rig, man.
They are nice rigs. Gave one to my son for his for Christmas present.
Yeah.
He got a gray one, of course. I had so many gray ones.
Nice.
And he was super stoked and took it out and just had a blast with it. He said, this truck is amazing. He was talking about getting the 10.3 axial.
Yeah.
And putting a 4Runner body on it because he's kind of into 4Runners and stuff. And but he just, the quality of this vehicle is really, really well made.
I thought about bringing my Phoenix kit in and putting them side by side, but I'll probably do that in another video just to kind of show them side by side. But yeah, I'm excited for this one. The drivetrain is what I'm really looking after. So it'll be cool to see that in a buggy WEROCK kind of stuff. So I'm going to design 2 totally custom ones, and then one I'm going to design for my son, and that one's going to be like a universal, I guess.
Okay.
And I'm going to give those plans to Scale Metal Supplies.
So are you planning to do, we haven't talked about this, are you planning on doing like some of the guys are building like a really cab forward style, or are they, or have you got an idea of what you're...
Yeah, no, I'm going to try to do like a 50-50.
Okay.
And then have it be with the motor biased towards the, not cab forward, but like have the motor pushed back more.
Right, because the motor is supposed to be in the back. Towards the back.
Yeah, so there can have the motor in the back, or you can have the motor up front. It depends on, so it depends. So the WEROCK for the national one is they have to have the motor in the back. But the PNW one, I think it can be on either side.
Oh, okay.
And so unless you plan on traveling to do comps with it, then we can figure it. I mean, I could put the motor in back. The one thing I did talk to Andre at Scale Metal Supplies about was he reversed it on this transmission, and you can't balance it out very easily, because then you have there's no delete on the transmission for the, or no, that he did the what's it called, the VFD twin.
The twin.
Yeah, and so he couldn't take out the linkage to make it.
Right, and this
reverse
is
it
just
over.
this just has a VFD in it, right?
Right, I think so. Yeah, so it's got overdrive in it. I thought from stock.
From the stock
factory.
Yep.
So I think actually, if I took the overdrive out, I could still reverse it.
Yeah.
And then, so we'll have to play around with it. So that's the reason why I haven't started designing or building anything yet, because I was like, I gotta figure out how this works. You know, like what's the best way to do it? Because the rear, you can put the motor the engine wherever you want, but I think probably simplistic wise, if you can keep the motor out front and then like keep it how it is basically, and then just cover it, then you'd be fine.
Yeah.
So,
are they supposed to have a mock-up fake motor engine on the back?
Well, so for the PNW one, they are doing that for points. So that's your like scale point stuff.
Okay.
So you have to have something, but it doesn't, like a 3D motor is something that gets you more points.
Okay.
So
on Facebook, I joined the WEROCK. Is that the PNW one?
No, there's a PNW one. I'll send you the link to it.
Okay, send me the link.
So the WEROCK one is for, like, I think the national chapter.
Okay.
And so,
I mean, those guys are getting crazy stuff with that. I mean,
they're really into it.
Yeah,
and
I'm seeing dual drags.
Yeah,
you know,
yeah,
I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if somebody doesn't start doing cutting brakes for God's sake.
Right.
You know?
I think that's happening. Yeah. So one of the things too about the PNW one, and I've just heard this today. It seems like there might be a little dissonance between the criteria, and I think. And I don't know 100%, but I'm just speaking based on where the clubs have been, because it's people that are from WAR CRC, and I think what it is that they're trying to feel out to see how many people are going to commit to it.
Okay, I got you.
And so they're kind of watering down the requirements.
Oh, all right.
Just because it is, like, if you're not a builder, it's a steep entry, like, not necessarily cost to entry, but it's a steep, like...
It's a learning curve.
It's a huge curve,
Yeah, it's a whole different program than what we've been used to building.
Right, and it has to be full cage chassis.
Yeah.
So, like, no frame rails.
Yeah.
And so that's where I think there's that difference, and I think that's why I actually think it's good to have it more watered down, so that more people can come out and play.
Yeah, for sure. It's all about more people.
Yeah.
You know, the more people, the better.
Yep.
As far as I'm concerned.
Yep.
So, yeah, super exciting.
So it'll be cool once I figure that out. And they're still working on their rules. I've been talking to them. So they're still working on their rules. Once their rules are all squared away, we'll design some stuff to be like square up to their rules. That way it'll be perfect.
Okay.
But yeah, I'm excited for this. So
I love that blue. That's a good looking blue.
It is very nice.
Really good looking blue.
So what my plan is for this, I'll take it out and benchmark it. And we'll drive it in my area out there. So you're familiar with the quarry out there.
Yeah.
Yep. So that's where I go and do all those really pretty shots. So
very pretty shot.
Thank you. Yeah. So I'll take this out there and I'll run it out in the quarry and kind of do my little voiceover, see how I feel about it, and then we'll start cannibalizing it.
Super. I'm super excited about it. I think the WEROCK thing's really kind of a cool thing.
Yeah.
You know, the drag racing, when it came out, it was just like major on fire, and it became a big thing. But the WEROCK is a little closer to what we do.
Yeah, 100%.
Than what most of us, have been doing. And so I think probably more people will be inclined to just partake in that.
Yep.
At least locally here.
Yeah, for sure. And I think it creates a different segment of crawling.
Yeah.
I think what's been happening right now in crawling is that you've kind of been, I think people have been getting tired of crawling because you get the low CG, like the belly dragger crawlers, you get the scalers, and then it's like, now what? And there was like, we had U4 here that was pretty popular for a while, and it kind of is dwindling off. And I think it's a seasonal thing.
Yeah.
Like seasonal meaning like season of life thing. I think it's going to come back and be a little bit
probably
bigger.
will.
Yeah. And so I'm just kind of on hold on that for a while. And then I think the WEROCK, and for us, like, our family is turning into this like RC competition family, which is crazy. So it's like my son's gonna get involved in it, I'm gonna get involved in it.
That's awesome.
And I could actually probably drive as good as my son when it comes to crawling.
Yeah.
Racing, that's another issue.
Yeah. I tried to enter the RC market back when my kids were in their 10, 12 years old type age, basically around your kids' age now. And I made the mistake. I think the rock crawlers were just starting to come out, and I didn't catch it. And I ended up buying 3 of the Team Associated stadium trucks, gas trucks.
Oh yeah.
And they were a lot of fun until you needed to work on them.
To tune them, yeah.
And both the kids got pretty discouraged with all the work. One of them's all thumb, so he's not a mechanical guy anyway.
Sure.
And so I just kind of put the RCs back on the shelf again for another, almost 10 years. And then I saw the rock crawlers on YouTube, and I went, oh my gosh.
Yep.
Let's get back into this. And now it's just nutso. So.
You have a whole catalog.
I have a catalog.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, I have so many cars. I don't even know how many I have.
That's
honestly.
crazy. You've got a lot of parts too.
I do.
That's when I see your videos, I'm like, how are you going to carve out time?
Yeah.
And I don't know what your plan is. Like, I don't know if you plan on like doing a mad like, what do they call them, like a rush on the market with that stuff, and then like build for a while and then do another rush on the market?
I'm gonna hang on. I think I'm gonna hang on to probably at least one Falcon, keep it new in box for
cool.
forever.
Yeah.
I did get a Pro through the Trucks of Fortune.
Nice.
So I got one Pro, and that was a clear Pro.
Yeah.
And I own a black Pro, and both those are still new in box.
Oh wow.
So I'm gonna hang on to those and not build them. I've been doing some stuff with the Kyosho phasers.
Yeah.
And my oldest son is at a police academy.
Oh, cool.
And he's going to graduate down in Florida at the Highway Patrol for Florida.
Yeah.
And so I ordered a Charger body, and I'm going to do up a black and tan cruiser.
Oh,
and that's going to be, I'm going to give him that for graduation.
Nice.
In August. Cool. So that's on my agenda. I've got 3 breast cancer awareness builds that I'm going to do this year and donate to auctions to raise for charity. They're all going to be based on the Fordyce, because I have a few of those. Some people know. And so the other trucks, I'm kind of like weighing out my time on you know what to do, because you only have so much time, and you want to get out and play.
That's the thing. I think for us builders, that's the thing. Like, you get these like mammoth projects, and then you're like, they kind of sit and they get a little bit of work, and then you go out and play with something else, and then they get a little work, and then they go out and play with something else. I mean, I have these 3 projects are the SCX6. I was just talking to Andre about that with Scale Metal Supplies today. I'm like, I think it's just time for me to cut it apart and start working on it again. Because I was doing too much heady stuff, like trying to figure out the design for the beam suspension and all that. And it's like, I got to that point where I'm like, okay, it's time to just cut it apart. Like, let's just cut it apart, because once it's cut apart, then I have to fix it.
Then you got to fix it.
And so that's the next thing. And
that's called commitment.
Yeah, exactly. And then Tony's build, that's the other one that I'm working on. That's going to be a mammoth build. And so,
this one here?
Yep. Yep. So that's going to be a mammoth one.
Yeah, that's cool. Love that truck.
You know, there's projects. This one's Tony's. This is a 10.2. This one's a 10.3 that I've been kind of playing around and going through. And then this was my rat rod that I put. This was like, I was like, how rough can I make it look? And I just started one day going to town with it, and it turned out pretty cool. I mean,
what kind of axles are these things?
So that's an LMT. So,
okay, that's an LMT.
Yeah, it's an LMT that I just 3D printed the body, and I did a rough cage on it. I mean, you can tell it's not like these cages where they're like nicely welded and stuff.
Yeah.
But like, it was kind of a
serious mud truck.
Yeah, so it had monster truck tires on it, and then I was like, you know what? This thing probably looks awesome as a mud truck.
These are killer mud tires.
Yeah, so those tires are off the King Sling.
Okay.
So that was a cool story.
Yeah, that's a Losi.
Yeah, so I went out with Tony Cece, so CCXRC, and we filmed the videos for the King Sling and the Bog Hog. And so I got to take the one that Dennis Anderson drove home. So it was super cool. Yeah, so that's why we don't drive that body anymore. It's hanging up. But the truck got beat. It got beat pretty good. So, but yeah, so I've got, and then like this one. This one's supposed to be another, before beamer, like the beam front ends were happening. I designed that body, and it's, wide fendered and all that, and that was going to be a beam front end. And so now
So when you get a file, and then you just start modifying the file and pushing things around.
And changing proportions and stuff like that.
That's something I need to learn yet. What do you use what program do you use to do that?
Rhino 3D.
Rhino 3D.
Yeah, so I use Rhino 3D, and so that's like, some people use SolidWorks and stuff like that, and Fusion's probably the most easiest to get into is Fusion. Well, I wouldn't say that, but because Fusion goes really deep too. But Rhino's more of a, I don't know. It's got a lot of different capabilities to it.
Okay.
I use it in the shop, so it's like.
So it's you already know it.
Yeah,
there's no learning curve.
Yeah, it's like SolidWorks. SolidWorks is way overkill for RC stuff, in my opinion.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Okay.
Like if you're not into 3D and you're like, oh, I'm gonna buy SolidWorks, it's like you're just buying a Ferrari for you know what you need. So it's like, but like. Rhino is probably the next one, and then Fusion's probably right there.
Okay.
And I think Fusion and Rhino are probably pretty close depending on what you use them for outside of RC. But yeah, so that's what I use. And then so I use that for my plans too. So like I'll draw my plans that'll show, so like these cars will have blueprints. So I'll draw the blueprints. And
that'll be so cool.
Yeah.
And then you just use the blueprints to measure and cut your metal. And so you've got real life-size pieces to work off of. That's cool.
And so that way I can archive it and make sure I can like
very cool.
fix it or build another one.
I'm super excited. This is going to be a fun project. I'm looking forward to that one. So.
Yeah.
So definitely the WEROCK is going to be on the schedule for this year. So who knows how far I'll get. I still have a Winnebago that's been sitting on a TRX6 chassis, and I've cut the cab and was going to make a wrecker out of it with a boom that extended out and all this stuff, and then I needed a welding bench. So finally I got around to getting the welding bench all built up at my shop. But I haven't got into it yet. Just another thing. And then I've got a Phoenix, the original Phoenix when they first came out, the kits. So I had bought 2 of those, and I've got one of those with a 2021 Bronco. New Bright body on it, that yellow New Bright body. And I instead of having it be the regular Bronco, I just cut the cab off. I turned it into like a truck Bronco.
Nice.
And so that's another project, but it's got a bunch of cage work. I want to do a bunch of exo cage and stuff like that on it, and so it's waiting for the welding bench too.
Right
so
on.
You got welding benches everywhere.
Yeah, we've got a couple different welding machines and stuff. So we've got some production. We're set up for producing some things out of here.
Yes, you definitely are.
People in YouTube land don't know what's behind the camera, and it's like I wouldn't really call it like a machine shop, but it's like. I always joke it's like my Stark Industries, because it's like in my office I have my 3D printer, upstairs I have my plotters, like we've got toys kind of everywhere through here.
That's great.
That's great. It's pretty fun, but I'm excited to have you on and excited to work on this, and I can't wait till when we're both out there, all 3 of us, my kid, and we can be competing.
Maybe mine too.
Yeah, there we go, and we can be competing against each other. So
for sure.
That'll be fun.
Yeah.
Well, cool, man.
Right on, bro.
Thanks for coming by.
All right, thank you.
All right, take it easy, guys.
Bye.